500 baby deaths in 5 months in Kashmir's only children's hospital. The true horror of the state-run GB Pant Children's Hospital in Srinagar is only emerging now. The final report of an inquiry panel accessed by NDTV reveals that the number of deaths could be far more than reported, as 60% of files are missing. The inquiry report reveals that junior doctors were allegedly forced to prescribe medicines from Substandard and unknown drug companies by a former medical superintendent. The report also says that the neonatal ICU, where critically ill newborn babies were admitted, was in an absolutely pathetic condition, with infectious and dirty ventilator tubes being used and reused on newborns for months on end. Even the oxygen pipes, which are so crucial, were filled with dirt.
Well known that the people from lesser known drug companies operating through this shop were moving about in the hospital, and the employees of this shop were also trying to promote these drugs inside the hospital.
But was there nexus between the hospital administration doctors and the medical shop?
Of course, such things cannot thrive without such nexuses. There has to be a nexus.
As we went through the MD examination, we were asked that the external examiners came to the Kashmir from some distant status. You have to give gifts to them, and they said that you cannot give gifts in hundreds and thousands. You have to give a good hefty gifts to them. And I was victim of the same, I will say the crime. I was the victim of same, and money was also taken from me and also from my all the friends.
You want to strike to the wall, you want to bang your head, but there is no way out. What is the way for you? There is no route to escape. Only then you have to abide by certain things which the higher authorities tell you. It is difficult, obviously, to write a drugs from only one particular company, one monotonous company. But there was no way out.
Yes, the situation in GB Pant Hospital had reached almost dire proportions. There is no denying that failure at multiple levels, right from the hospital to the secretariat, resulted in the situation reaching where it had, wherein I myself had to step in, and between myself and the officers with me, we put into place certain corrective measures, wherein I believe the situation has been addressed to a large extent.
Now it is talking even about the academic corruption. Even I spoke to some of the doctors. They say they had to pay bribe during their postgraduate MD courses.
I hope that these doctors who were so forthcoming in talking to you will be as forthcoming in talking to the Vigilance and the Accountability Commission. I am telling you that responsibility for this stretches from the hospital right to the secretariat. It is at certain levels, it is for individual conscience to take its own call. I can't tell their conscience how to respond. I know how my conscience would respond. I don't know how their conscience would respond. But as far as legal steps are concerned, I believe action should be taken on the basis of substantive reports. Now, this report points us in the correct direction, but it doesn't fix responsibility. It only states facts.
Right.
This report was never meant to fix responsibility. For responsibility to be fixed, we have two institutions. We have the Accountability Commission and the Vigilance Commission. I believe both of them should inquire into this report, fix responsibility. Responsibility where fixed, I can assure you action will follow. Now, responsibility has to be fixed by institutions that are authorized to fix responsibility. Those institutions are the Vigilance Commission and the Accountability Commission. I will ensure that tomorrow itself a copy of this report is sent to both the Vigilance and the Accountability Commission, and they will be tasked to fix responsibility.
NDTV's Nazir Masoodi, who brought you this exclusive report on in fact what the findings of that initial report are. Nazir, first of all, of course, we heard some very strong words from the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir in your interview there. But most importantly, we all knew that what happened in the GB Pant Hospital was horrifying, but apparently we haven't even scratched the surface.
Well, Kajori, what we have heard so far, what we have reported so far is really, there's much bigger horror than what we know about it. For example, we know that 500 infants or the neonates have died in 5 or 6 months, but the number is much higher. Even the files are mysteriously missing, medical records are missing, and only 40% files have been retrieved, like 889 what is in this report. And that shows, as the report, on the basis of those files which have been retrieved, the number of the death rate of the neonates and the infants in this hospital is 35%. That means 35 children who go out of 100 die in this hospital. So the national rate is 40, this infant death rate is 47 out of 1000. So this is really alarming, this is really hospital horror, and Chief Minister is now talking about fixing responsibility, not at the level of doctors, because he is saying that it stretches from the hospital right to the Secretariat, and he is now talking about handing over this case to the Accountability Commission and the Vigilance Commission. Remember, Accountability Commission is exclusively meant to investigate, probe the bunglings and the corruption by the political leaders. That means the medical education minister, and he's saying he cannot be absolved from the responsibility, and the doctors will be investigated by the vigilance organization. So clearly it is not just the administrative matter. Now the politicians have come in, and Umar Abdullah is saying politicians can also not escape the responsibility.
Nazir, very quickly tell us, now this is just the initial report. There will have to be a lot more before any action can really be taken beyond what has already happened.
Well, first of all, this report has been submitted to the government, while Umar Abdullah is saying he has not received the copy. In fact, he surprisingly said he has not received this copy, and before him, he receives the copy, NDTV has received the copy. And he is saying that once he goes through this report, they are going to hand over this case to these investigative agencies like the Accountability Commission and Vigilance to fix the responsibility, and he assured that the action will be taken. But on the other hand, the state Jammu and Kashmir High Court is also, listening to this case. They are also, this case is there as part of the PIL. They are also going to, deliver their verdict very soon on this case. What action should be taken, particularly in the light of this report, which is showing really huge hospital horror, where there was a drug mafia, where doctors were in hand in glove with the drug mafia, and they were playing with the lives of innocent children.